I want to also appreciate those who have been following us, those who have been subscribing to our YouTube channel to get a lot of updates about what is going on around the world and also a lot of advice and input. And we also talked a lot about Nigeria and the Nigerian situation and what we need to do and how we need to do it. First and foremost, I want to say thank you very much. Congratulations. And we are grateful to those who have subscribed. Our number of subscription is increasing daily. But there are a lot of people who have not subscribed because we say by the end of this year, we want to have about a million, about 15,000 subscribers. So thank you very much for this, for those who have subscribed. BHF Movie on YouTube is an arm of BHF Foundation. And BHF Foundation is registered with the government. It's a non-governmental organization that are registered to fight against secret cults, drug abuse, cyber crime, and also uh, sexual immorality, especially teenage pregnancy and the rest. So that's what we've been doing for a very, very long time. We've had series of programs in Lasso, in Lagos. We've had programs in Ogun State, in Delta State, in Edo State, and they were wonderful programs. One of such programs that we had was in University of Lagos, where about 450 people came out of Secret Court many years ago. Many years ago, a few years, not just that many. About 450 came out of Secret Court. In fact, then I told them then that uh, I am now coming to talk about speak against cult activities. And I told the students in University of Lagos then that some years ago I was at the gates of University of Lagos. We were fighting and shedding blood as a cultist. And years later, I came back to tell them that all secret cults are satanic organizations, they're evil organizations that are meant to destroy the destiny of the youths. And there's nothing good that comes out of secret cult. I want to say that again and again for as many people who care to listen, who bother to listen. There's nothing good. So if you are here there as a teenager, they are trying to lure you, tell you they will give you backing, they will do this, they will do this, they are all lies. The secret cult organization has three mandates. Just like also the devil has three mandates: to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And that's actually the three mandates that the secret code has: to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And so you need to come out of secret code, don't get yourself involved in gangsterism all over the world. There's nothing that you get out of it. You have a glorious destiny. God expects so much from you, and He expects you to deliver on the reason why you were created. You have so much to do. And so your involvement in secret cult has nothing, no benefit. It will only cut short your destiny. I'm saying this again and again, trying to make you understand that BHF movie is just an arm of BHF Foundation. And we'll be having a program in Ojudu, which is a conference against drugs. We're advertising the program for some time now. On the 5th of August, we'll be having a program in Ojugu, which is a conference against drugs. It's going to be a wonderful program. We have quite a number of people who are coming, those who have experience in drug, those who were once drug addicts who are now free from drug addiction, those who were once cultists who are free now from cult, who are out of cult. Because one of the things I want the youth to understand is that they can come out. If you are there in cult already, you can come out. Like the saying goes, it is easier to remove a tree, to remove a seed, than to remove a tree. It's very, very easier to uproot a seed than to uproot a tree. And so if you are alive, you are now alive, healthy, and you can hear me, which means you still have opportunity to come out of these evil organizations. Evil organizations. Look at what is happening in Edo State now, where a young man was killed around J2 area in Edo North. J2, by the way, is close to Auchi Polytechnic. I saw close to Auchi. I read it and I saw where a young man who was on his own, probably resting, and this cultist went to look for a fellow, another cultist. They saw this guy lying down and they mistake him. So it was a case of mistaken identity, and around he was shot and killed. So these things are wrong. These things are not acceptable. These things should not be tolerated. These things must be stopped. We must, as a society, raise up our voice and say no. These are great destinies. These are people who have potentials to become great leaders, rescuers of our nation. that are being killed prematurely by a group of gangsters. These are killers and murderers disguising in the name of secret cults, which I told you before that all secret cults are evil organizations. So you have no business joining them. So we're inviting you, if you are in Lagos and you are around Lagos and the environs, you're in Ojudu, we are having the first ever conference against drug abuse and cultism. Having a lot of great speakers who are coming for that conference, and a lot of ex-cultists, a lot of drug addicts, ex-drug addicts who are coming to that conference to be able to speak to our youth and to encourage them and to tell them that you can come out of it. You can come out of it. There's nothing you involve yourself in that you cannot come out. It is easier because I can tell you where you are going to end as a drug addict. I can tell you where you are going to end as a cultist because I was once a drug addict. I was once a cultist, and I can tell you where your end will be. It's the same direction. It's the same direction. You can't be running when you're on the wrong road. You will never get to your destination. The secret cult is a wrong road, and so if you see yourself running and running and running while you're on the wrong road, you will not get to your destination. It's a waste of time. Unfortunately, the politicians and the rest have made it worse because some politicians are also part of the secret court movement in Nigeria today. They are the sponsors and the rest. They are there, government officials and the rest, because the politicians want to win election by all means. I look at it and I said, if you want to rule, you want to be able to govern the people, and you must fight your way to govern the people. That's sad. Because if you actually want to lead, the people should be able to vote for you without you fighting and killing, maiming to see that you win an election. It's very obvious that the reason why you want to win elections is because you want to loot the treasury. You want to loot the treasury of your state, the local government. You want to loot the treasury of the nation. That's the only reason why you want to rule. You want to lead. You are fighting. You're killing. You're maiming. Using members of the road transport, is what they call them, road transport organization or whatever name they call them, using them to cause all kinds of chaos because you want to win an election. And the reason why you want to do that, as I said before, is because you want to loot the treasury. Because under a normal condition, a normal situation, somebody who is normal, somebody who is not crazy, for example, there's no way we're going to hire trucks and rent trucks because you want to win an election. You want to govern the people for goodness sake. And if you want to govern the people, allow them to freely tell them what you want to do. Tell them how you want to do it. And the people will freely and willingly vote for you. But now I'm talking about politicians in all the parties. It's all the parties, same thing. It's just as in Nigeria today, is the highest rigger that wins. They all rig. They all try to buy votes. But it's the highest rigger that finally succeeds at last. And as the situation is getting interesting, just like when somebody says, it is not those that vote that count, it's those that count the vote that count. And I think the person is right. Because it is now, we have moved from buying votes, moved from buying the electorate, deceiving the electorate, using money and foodstuff and rice to induce them so that they can be able to vote for the politicians. We are now moved a step further. We have moved a step further to buying those that count the vote. And if it is true that we are buying those that count the vote, it's very sad. Somebody asked a question and said, what you are putting on now, is it a religious outfit? No, it's not a religious outfit. It's not. I'm not a religious person. It's not a religious outfit. I just feel like wearing it. It's something I fancy it. I like it. And so if you watch this program regularly, you see I put on different things. Because I try to be a complete Nigerian. I can put on suit, I can put on tie, I can put on again, normally the suit and tie is not an African dress. These are imported dress from the Europeans. Thank you very much. The suit and tie does not belong to African. It's not an African way of dressing. The Western way of dressing have actually influenced the kind of dress we put on right now in Nigeria and in Africa. And it's so sad because you see today the way our guests dress. Some of these abandon used clothes, half clothes. You know, a girl that should put on the clothes, for example, maybe you use 2-3 years to sew a clothes for a lady. She decides to buy half yard and use it to sew clothes. And you see, most of the clothes we are putting on now, especially our ladies, are naked clothes because we are trying to copy the Western world. You know, and it's very, very sad because if you see a proper African lady dress, you will know that yes, this is a proper African lady. In Africa, we don't expose ourselves, we don't expose, the girls don't expose their breasts and the rest. It's not an African way of dressing. Africans are known to be dressing well. They cover up their body because their body is precious. The ladies know that their body, African lady, they know that their body is precious, and so they try as much as possible to dress normally. But it's the West that try to introduce the shameful and barbaric way of dressing. And unfortunately, some people in the South decide to copy it, where they move around half naked. You know, it's not an African culture. It's not an African culture. In Africa, the young men, they dress very well. They cut their hair, dress, cover themselves very well. But unfortunately, again, we try to copy the West. And so what we do now, they put on their trousers below their the waistline and begin to put on earring and begin to plait their hair. This is not African. It's not an African culture. This is a European culture imported to Africa and trying to use it to confuse the gullible. Uh, okay, thank you very much for responding to the. You're welcome. They try to confuse the gullible Africans. Now you see young men putting on plaiting their hair. A young man will go to the salon and plait his hair and put on a ring. You know, most of all this madness is not it's not African. It's Western. It's the Western world. And and sadly enough, even though they've given us independence in Africa, we are not. We are mentally. Maybe that's why the former African Afrobeat legend Fela Nicola Kukuti sang a song where you say "Kolo mentality." You know, the Western world have succeeded in colonizing our mindsets. You know, where we believe where people begin to think that anything that comes from Africa, I mean, anything that comes from the West is right. Anything that comes from the West is the right thing to do. So we don't have a mind of our own. And we are trying to tell our youth that we need to have a mind of our own. We need to resist what is wrong and begin to accept what is right. You know, we are not used to such things. The West cannot decide, sorry, the West cannot decide how we put on how we dress. This is, we must have a strong culture. We must have, and it's so sad because the next generation, which is the youth now, we are praying seriously because the way the youths are going now is getting out of hand. Yeah, you see a young man and a young girl. You see a young girl. You don't know whether she's mad, whether she's mental. You don't know. I know many years ago when we were young, because I grew up very rough. They are the kind of clothes that you see girls put on in the hotel, the club. You know, and when you see them, you know that this is prostitute. And most times, those prostitutes they put the clothes only in the club. They don't wear it outside. They put it in the brutal where they stay. That's where they put on. You know, but now we've got into a situation right now where the kind of clothes that even the prostitute will be scared of wearing is the kind of clothes that our ladies are putting on now. And when you see the girls in the street, you don't know the difference between a prostitute and you don't even know if they are prostitutes or not. You know, and it's so sad. It's so sad because you know those days the normal African girl, normal African woman, is so proud of her body. She does everything possible to see that her body is completely covered. She doesn't expose her body for the public to see because she knows that her body is precious, and she tries to protect it. She tries to ensure that her precious body is not for public consumption. You know, but now you see what is going on. At times I see these things and I begin to ask myself what is going on. You know, at times you even see the ladies putting on clothes, short, very short bumper, what they call, is it bumper or so, bump shorts. They put them and they walk outside. And the most sad of it is that they don't even look themselves well in the mirror before they come out. Because it's very sad. At times you see a girl with two left leg, a girl that has a direct color. Her body, the legs are different colors. Some parts are white, some parts are green. Some parts are so terribly damaged because of maybe when she was growing up, she has this eczema, body skin disease and the rest when she was growing up. So she's multicolor. She's just like I said, a direct color. And she will put on something short, exposing her body, exposing her legs. Her multicolored legs is now being exposed. And I ask myself, does this girl have a mirror? Does this girl have friends, neighbors, parents? Because how can a normal parent allow the daughter to come out like this with a multicolored skin, exposing, not even covering it with good clothes, but covering it with naked clothes, exposing a multicolor, deformed and faded color skin, marketing their color skin, and it's quite interesting and it's sad and it's shameful. It's not the way an African dress. It's not. I even see the boys, as I said before, putting on earring. We don't know who you are, whether you are a boy or you are a girl. You yourself, you are confused. That tells you the state of mind of the young man. Because the young man himself is confused. He doesn't even know whether he's a boy or he's a girl. Because of what he's putting on. He's putting on something, you plait his hair, putting on earring, and dress like a female. You're a male already, but you try to dress like a female. That begins to make you understand that there's a level of insanity. There's a level of insanity that is going on right now, and I pray that we are able to get it right. We are praying that the youth should be able to get it right. They don't need to copy the West. It's not everything that comes from the West is right. The West is gradually going. The West is gradually confused. Morality in the West is gone. In the West, it is the children that train their father, not the parents that train the children. Because in the West, you dare not arrest your son, you dare not arrest your daughter. You dare not discipline your children because they will call the police on you. Have you seen that kind of thing before? Your own children that you are training, you can't discipline them. So the West, in the name of freedom, they have messed up their society. Every freedom has limits. We're going to continue. Our program will be going on break. But I want to say this as we begin to round up this segment. Go on break and we'll come back again to talk a lot about what is going on around the world in Gaza and the rest. But as we round up this segment, I want to say that morality should be restored. The way you dress actually shows who you are. Your state of mind is displayed by the way you dress. And somebody will say, marriage is on. How will marriages last? Well, most of the girls you see on the street right now, they are hawkers. The way they dress. You want to get married to somebody like this, or you want to get married to a guy that is plaiting his hair, and also wearing a ring is the person you want to get married to. It's not the guy is not normal in the first place. And you see somebody that is not normal, and that's not the person you want to get married to. Or you as a guy, you are getting married to a girl that is naked, that is not even ashamed, protecting her body, and tomorrow you say she's cheating. She has to cheat on you, whatever name you want to call it, because that's who she is. The red flag is there already, just that you didn't pay attention to it. It is the heart that matters, my brother, my sister. It is what is in your heart that you are displaying outside. So for a young man who wants to get married and he wants to get married to a girl that is dressing nakedly, you are taking a very big risk. You're taking a very, very, very big risk. You want to get married to a girl that is half naked on the streets. A girl that is not ashamed. Is half naked on the street. Is a girl that you want to get married to. A girl that is not properly dressed. A girl that is not properly covered. Then how do you think that you are going to have a happy home? Because you are just married. You are just marrying for the public. So It's public wife that you're married to. And don't get surprised when somebody else is sleeping with her. Because in the first place, she has told you already that she's not a decent person. She's not a decent person. So it's a two-way thing, and we want the youth to be mindful of that. Let me also say again that on the 5th of August, we are having a National Youth Conference at Ojodu Bega in Lagos State. It's the first conference against drug, cult, cybercrime, and sexual immorality. It's a major conference. We have speakers that are coming from around the country. Yeah, some warlords are coming. I'm talking about warlords who have been involved in a lot of crime before, but thank God now they are no more involved in such things. They are now decent family people. They are coming to give speech and also to encourage the youth. So we ask them to come because it's going to be a wonderful time. Wonderful time. It's going to be well, and we are making arrangement to see that we are able to contribute our quota in trying to protect and defend our youth, trying to help the youth to become something in life. So that's the first. It's going to be on live. It's going to be broadcast live on this BHF movie channel. The first conference against secret cults, called activities, drug abuse, drug addiction, cybercrime, and sexual immorality. It's going to be a major conference. It's going to be interesting because we are going to have a lot of warlords who are going to be part of that conference. And all we are trying to do is to see how we can be able to protect our youths so that they don't make the same mistake. Somebody just sent me. Okay. So we'll be seeing the chats that are coming in, talking about the, the way people dressed and the rest. Please always indicate where you are chatting me from. We've had chat from Venezuela. We have chat from Australia. We have chat from the US. So we are doing everything possible to see that we are able to build up the moral base of the youth. That's the purpose of the youth of BHF Foundation, the youth organization, trying us its best. You see, because the future is in the hand of the youth. And if we miss it, then we are gone. Our politicians are busy pursuing, thinking of how to loot the treasury, that they seem not to have time for the youth. But they forget that the youth, the burden of the future is in the shoulder of the youth. And if we are going to have a better tomorrow, then we must have a better youth. Until we come back again, we are going on a break. Until we come back again, we will also begin to continue. I want to say this again, that all secret cults are evil. I'll keep saying it. Anywhere you're listening from, you'll be able to hear it. Sinks down in your heart that all secret cults are evil. They're satanic organization. You have nothing to benefit from them. And so please take good care of yourself. We've been seeing your various comments and questions that you've been asking on the comment section. We are going to answer it by the time we come back on break. But for now, this is BHF Foundation, where we bring to you moral informations and also news across the world. Until we meet again the next few moments, please stay safe, dress well, stay out of court, and do what is right. We'll meet again soon.